Hello, and welcome to my first ever NFL Slate review. So, let's go over NBA for today. It was so brutal. I thought that Minnesota OKC had huge minutes upside, and Shea got pushed. He played ceiling minutes, and he nuked it at 3%. So that was good, but the Minnesota side was kind of a letdown. A lot of the scoring came from the bench, like the randoms, like Terrence Shannon Jr. had like 15. McDaniels got benched, so this entire Minnesota stack like just didn't work well. I called out Huff in the video. He played 28 minutes but just didn't get there in a ton of minutes. And then I also called out McConnell, who worked out in a huge way. What was tilting was that like none of the late starters really broke the slate. Like Jarris Walker, Gary Trent, and Colin Murray Boyles were all unexpected late starters, and they all were incredible plays, and none of them really broke the slate. I mean, Jarris was good. Yeah. This is my best lineup. I was really high on the Pacers and Raptors game, but just didn't work out. The game went like 40 points under the total. Brandon Ingram hit a game winner with like zero point 0.6 seconds left or something. And yeah, I just didn't get there. But like, yeah, it was pretty sad. I was like way over the field on Nemhard and Matherin. Also Jay Huff and Jarris Walker. And I mean, McConnell and Walker smashed, just the rest were whatever. And I mean, Indy scored like 20 less points than expected, which just sucks. My best lineup was pretty far off. It was like 60 off, more than 60. Like almost 70 points off. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of tilting as well. Like, I thought Pirtle and Mark Williams are pretty similar plays, but Mark pretty much he over doubled Pirtle at double the ownership, so that kind of sucked. And then Barnes didn't get there either. Scored 44, and Toronto didn't even get to 100 points, so that kind of sucked too. But yeah, Gillespie as a starter was just became a total smash play. He nuked it. Yeah, I think I mentioned Danny as well, but yeah, I got off a lot of Danny when Shaden was ruled in, but then Shaden was coming off the bench anyway, so should have got back on some Danny. But I think I had like 30 Danny, 10 Şengün going into the 7 o'clock lock, or like maybe like 35 Danny or something. And then I dropped it down to 20 Şengün, 20 Danny, and then added in some more Gillespie, something like that. And then, yeah, just didn't end up getting there because the Pacers-Toronto game just didn't nuke it. But yeah, I wouldn't say I know, like I'm not like a ball knower of NFL or anything, but it's gonna be like more of a theory standpoint. So, I mean, just go team by team, I guess, but is that even worth it? Like, it's so boring. So position by position, I guess. I mean, the Green Bay and Detroit quarterbacks are probably the two least interesting. You get Goff against the Packers D, and then you get Jordan Love, who just sucks. But like, and it's also a game that is probably the lowest upside. Like, Green Bay doesn't want to be in a shootout, and Detroit can accelerate the game, but Detroit's also like a run first team. So I think Green Bay and Detroit has the highest probability of not having a gotta have it piece in there, or like being the lowest exposure game to in the optimal lineup. So from a quarterback standpoint, I think Goff and Love would be my bottom two, but I would have a little bit more interest in Love than Goff because I mean the Detroit run defense is really legit, and if Josh Jacobs can't get it going, like You're probably going to see Green Bay playing from behind, and Love is going to have to air it out. And it's not like the Detroit secondary is very good. And Green Bay has a lot of explosive receivers, right? They have now Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. And if Golden doesn't play, like, it's pretty condensed here. Like, there's no more Tucker Kraft. There's no Jaden Reed still. Savion Williams is out. If you get Golden out, like, it's gonna be Watson, Dobbs, and Wicks, right? So, I think from that standpoint, like, the main drawback of Love a lot of the time is Green Bay will pass the ball to like 10 guys, but like now they have so many receivers out and Kraft's out. Obviously, like the status of Golden is kind of affects how appealing Green Bay is. But yeah, I mean, if Green Bay trails this game, like the receivers are really cheap, and Love is cheap as well. So you could definitely see the stack get there. Like the way it works is like Jacobs just can't get the run going against the Detroit run defense, and then Detroit scores a few, and then Green Bay just has to air it out. And like, Love isn't the greatest quarterback, but if he's not under pressure, like, the throws can get there, and the receivers are talented, so a little bit of interest there, and then it's kind of hard for me to choose between this group of the other four guys in Lamar, Mahomes, Prescott, and Burrow. The thing with Joe Burrow is, like, how healthy is he, right? And that's not a question that's easily answered. I mean, Burrow was taking first team reps last week, which leads me to think that he's like somewhere near full go, or like not full go, but somewhere near 100%, or like somewhere near 80%, or whatever the fuck. Like somewhere near good enough to play. Like they're not like forcing it back just because they're 3-8 or whatever they are. But like, it's definitely a lot of risk with Burrow, but it's also reflected in his lower ownership. It's like if you have like full health Burrow against Baltimore, 6K, like you're getting Burrow probably higher on than he's projected for. But the concern with Burrow here is like his health. But I mean, the targets are like really condensed on Cincy with T Higgins out. Like it's gonna be Jamar. It's likely gonna be like Jaceki, and then probably one of the receivers in like Yoshi Voss and Tinsley. Like last week with Jamar Chase out, you saw Mitchell Tinsley play almost 100% of snaps. Like, yeah, he played 74% of snaps. So, I mean, I'm kind of expecting the same thing, right? I think Charlie Jones only played because T. Higgins got hurt. So I think you're expecting like almost 100% of snaps for Jamar, and then like close to 90 for Yoshi Voss again, and then the 70 for Tinsley. So I don't hate Mitchell Tinsley as a low-end guy. Why am I clicking onto these tabs? That was for later. Like, yeah. I don't mind Mitchell Tinsley as like one of the low-end guys, because on a slate like this, where there's 600,000 entries, you're not trying to play something that's gonna be like super chalk, or else if you win, you're like not even winning that much, which is like it just kills all your upside. So I like Mitchell Tinsley, and then if you want to check Yoshivas. Yoshivas actually not that owned either, so I actually do like these two Cincy receivers after Jamar Chase. So I think there's kind of the appeal of stacking Burrow because you get like automatic correlation with a really cheap receiver, and like Burrow can get the ball to his guys, right? We've seen Yoshivas have big games with Burrow. Like I think the ceiling is there for Tinsley. I don't really know much about this dude, but yeah, and then like everyone's playing Jaceki. Like you're seeing 30% to Jaceki compared to 5 and 4 for Tinsley and Yoshivas. So like if I'm playing Burrow, I'm probably not Like I'm gonna probably have more of the wide receiver 2 or 3 compared to just the Giga Chalk Burrow Chase Jasicki stack. Or like even like throwing a Fant or something instead of Jasicki, because like Fant's not getting ownership either. Like yeah, Fant's literally sub 1%. And then on Dak side, like if you told me going to the start of the season George Pickens would be more expensive and higher owned than CeeDee Lamb, I don't know if I'd believe that, but that's the scenario we're getting here. Obviously, Pickens has been incredible lately. He's pretty much looked like the wide receiver one on Dallas, but like CD has a big ceiling as well. Although, like, I don't know if I'm that interested in Dak Prescott just because of the matchup against Kansas City. Like, we've seen Prescott smash in hard lineups or in hard matchups. Like, he smashed it against Green Bay, and had a good game against Philly last week as well. But then we've also seen like the bad games too, like 8 against Denver, 8 against Philly, and 14 against the Bears. So you can definitely see like Dak is kind of your wider range of outcomes guy. He can basically just go off on any matchup and also like be really bad in any matchup. But I'm like a big Kansas City slappy. Like every time I see someone playing against Kansas City, I just get that feeling that I don't know, it's just not great for them. Like no one really puts up a ton of points against Kansas City. Like you saw the most be Jacksonville 31, and then like you basically don't see anyone else put up those scores. Granted, they're not playing against like the best offenses ever, but they held Detroit to 17, and they held Buffalo to 28. Like it's not like great, but Buffalo's a team that can put up a billion points. But I feel like Prescott might be a little bit overhyped by the field. Because he's coming out at like 15, but he's so close in price to Lamar. Like you could easily see a bad Dak game. And I think the field is could be kind of hung up on the fact that Dak has had these massive games in memorable spots, and then like I don't think Dak was that owned in these games where he didn't put up those huge of scores. At least I don't have that impression because I don't even remember these games, but I also just don't think Dak has been on main slates very often, but yeah. Then Mahomes against Dallas, like it's the nut spot. Like I guess Lamar kind of has a nut spot also, but it's gonna look great. But the one thing is like Dallas has upgraded their defense with Quinnen Williams, and I think they signed some other dude. I don't remember, but yeah, they held Dallas to 21, and then Vegas to 16 ever since then, which is like yeah, it's Vegas or not. They held Philly. Like yeah, it's Vegas, and then like yeah, it's fucking the Giants. The Eagles, I don't know, it's late as fuck right now. Held the Eagles to 21, but like the Eagles are like pretty inconsistent as well. So I'm not like super convinced that the Cowboys defense is like suddenly good. Like maybe the Chiefs can't like run all over them. Who knows? I mean, Mahomes probably like is your most optimal guy, your most optimal quarterback on the slate by a wide margin, but Mahomes also getting 35% ownership, and I kind of expect that to be even higher. So I don't know. I don't feel great about the Mahomes ownership. And also will say like most of the quarterbacks I would say have a similar ceiling. Like you're not really getting any super mobile quarterbacks. They're all pocket passers besides Lamar, pretty much. And then we haven't really seen Lamar even run that much lately. So I wouldn't say Mahomes has a ceiling that's much greater than like a Dak or a Burrow, but he's getting way more ownership. I'm gonna check the snap counts for Kansas City actually, because I do know that they are like a kind of committee team. Because you don't see Rashid or Worthy play like even 80% of the snaps. So you actually do like what I wanted to check was like the Tyquan Thornton snaps, and they're solid. Because like Thornton can catch a bomb and be optimal on like the one bomb, right? What even is he priced at? I don't know. 3K basically in ownership. Like Thornton can catch a bomb, and he catches a bomb more than 1 in 300 times. So like, if you're gonna play Mahomes, you can definitely get different at the receiver with like a Tyquan Thornton or a Noah Gray. How old is he? He's not even playing. What? Oh, okay, never mind. Not a Noah Gray. Yeah, I'm not as interested in Robert Tonyan. So, yeah, I mean, Mahomes definitely looks good into this Dallas matchup, but yeah, I just don't know if I like the ownership. And then I feel like Lamar is like the other guy. I feel like Baltimore, since he's the nut game to me, from a lot of the stuff that I've watched, a lot of people are into the KC Dallas game a little bit more, but I don't know. Like, I know Henry hasn't looked great, and neither has Lamar. Like, this whole Ravens offense just hasn't looked that incredible, but like we saw earlier in the season, they put up some big scores, like 30, 41, 41, 30. So, like, I don't hate playing a Baltimore stack, but what I do dislike is probably Zay Flowers at ownership. If it's high, 26 like about right, I guess. Like, we just haven't seen a big game for Zay Flowers at all. It's like, part of it is that, like, he's not playing with Lamar a lot of these games, right? Yeah. So, he's plus 140 to score a touchdown, which is actually pretty appealing. It's like plus 145 catches for 65 and a half. It's pretty reasonable. I mean, basically Zay just needs to catch a touchdown, which he hasn't done in a really long time. It's actually kind of crazy. He hasn't had a touchdown since the Bills. He has one touchdown on the whole season. I mean, that's pretty insane. Wow. I mean, I guess he just isn't really a guy who catches a lot of touchdowns. But, yeah. So the chalk is Mark Andrews and Derrick Henry in this game. So definitely like Lamar as an option. And I think there's also a scenario where like Cincinnati just comes out guns blazing, get out to an early lead, and Baltimore has to pass the ball, right? And that's the script where you're gonna likely see Lamar have a big one. and that's like the same way that Derrick Henry fails as well. So I think we don't have Justice Hill for this game. Is that correct? Yeah. So in that case, I feel like you can also take a deep shot on like a Keaton Mitchell, who is gonna act as the pass catching back with no Justice Hill. I don't really know if he's had like any of these big games before, but like you can definitely see Keaton Mitchell like break off a big one. Saw it here, but that looks like a gigabloat or something. I don't know. I don't really know if looking at 2023 is all that important, but you can definitely see Keaton Mitchell get it, right? And like catch a few passes if the Ravens are trailing. I don't know what his ATD is. Plus 425. It roughly happens like 1 in 8, 1 in 9. What am I saying? Like 1 in 5, 1 in 6. So I don't hate like a Lamar Keaton, and then like sure like eat the chalk with Andrews or something, and then like a Zay Flowers, something like this. I think the thing with Lamar stocks that's interesting is you can also get different because they're also a team that runs a couple receivers. Hopkins, Wallace, Walker. And then you get Bateman coming back as well. So I don't know if Walker's is playable, but definitely gonna see a solid amount of stops for D-Hop, and probably gonna see Bateman run a majority of the routes as well. If he's limited, I don't know, but he's 3.8K. I mean, I think the argument for Lamar is like, or not the argument, but like the way you play Lamar is like similar to Burrow. You can play Lamar, and then what am I even looking at? You can get like these cheap receivers that basically just need one catch and they're not owned at all. Like Bateman, Hopkins, just project for no ownership. And they certainly have greater than this percent chance to get there. Like, we've already seen it this season. I don't know if Hopkins has enough games, but I definitely know Bateman has had some games. It's like, is 11.5 enough? On 3 games, maybe. 14? Probably, from like a min-price guy. Like, we've seen Hopkins get there 2 games out of, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 games out of 11. It's like, you see Hopkins get there 22% of the time. Albeit those are also like his best games of the season. Like, what's his ATD even? Like, plus 460, and then like maybe he gets there half the time. And like you get like Hopkins implied optimal like what 1 in 12 games or something, or like 8% of the time, and that's not reflected in ownership. And then I mean, this doesn't look like Bateman's limited at all, right? You're getting an unlimited 3.8K Bateman against the Bengals at 6%. Like, I don't hate it. There's nothing that really shows that Zay is some super alpha receiver. Like, it's not catching that many passes a game. He doesn't really get to the end zone. Although, like, the Ravens as a whole aren't really scoring that much, but like Zay gets like 1 red zone target a game, if even that. Like, it's basically the same as Bateman. And then you can just jam Henry in the red zone. And they just jam Henry and Lamar, so Like, it's basically just like what random guy catches the Lamar bomb and gets in. And like, why not Bateman? Or why not Hopkins? Or why not Likely? Like, doesn't have to always just be Andrews and Zay. Like, it's been Andrews every week. Although, I do think Mark Andrews is like a solid play, but yeah, they're running like all these weird gadget plays for him. Like, well, I don't know if you call it like a gadget play, but have like this crazy run. I think it was like a fake something. I don't know. And then they're like running Mark Andrews goal line tush pushes, which hasn't even worked. But like they're doing it. And this, like, what? 3 weeks in a row with an Andrews touchdown, and then like a Jets game that no one cares about. Like Andrews has gotten pretty good variance, although he is like, I'm pretty sure he's close to even odds for a touchdown. I just don't think Mark Andrews like demands to be the second highest owned player of the slate when Baltimore has such a large group of guys that can catch the ball. Like, you get a guy like Isaiah Likely as well. I'm kind of basing a lot of this stuff off like the market, but like I feel like that's the easiest way to quantify stuff. Like, you have Isaiah Likely roughly like 2/5 chance to score a touchdown compared to Mark Andrews. Like, why not Likely, you know? Didn't Likely have a touchdown this season? Am I stupid? Is Kolar more touchdowns than Likely? Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I like Isaiah Likely as a pivot off Andrews. It's not like Likely's unowned, but he's like half the ownership, so don't hate an Isaiah Likely. So yeah, I think a lot of the interesting things to do is just to stack weird, like this. Oh, that's not even weird. Like, that's one thing you can do because it has a Keaton Mitchell, right? But like, if you want like a weird Lamar stack, just like go like this, Likely, Bateman, or like Hopkins or something. Let's put Bateman, Hopkins for fun. Like a Lamar Hopkins Likely. And then you obviously want to have Jamar in here. And like round it out from there. I feel like the thing with the Cincy Baltimore game is like there's a lot of fun ways to go about it, because there's like the largest receiver pool to pick from, where all the guys have pretty clear ways of getting there, and they're not really getting owned. Like Yoshivas, Tinsley, Bateman, Hopkins. Like, we've all seen it before. It's a great matchup. Both defenses aren't the best, so like, yeah. And like Dallas is a little more boring because like you're not playing Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo. These guys, like, you can play Turpin, I guess, and like you can play Farnoy, I guess, but the ceiling just isn't as high on these guys as it is on Rashad Bateman or DeAndre Hopkins, especially given the matchup. I guess on Dallas, I do like Jake Ferguson, who's not really getting ownership. Sub 10% for 5.1k Jake Ferguson. And I don't hate it. Kelsey's 4 times his owned. I don't think that's necessarily correct. And then like you're comparing him to the JMO Watson. Whereas like I do agree that the ceiling is higher on these other receivers, but like all you need is like Ferguson catches a touchdown and these guys don't, which is like not as wide as the ownership gap makes it seem. Yeah. And the last thing I want to mention is like on Detroit, they have no Brock Wright, no Sam Laporta. So you're gonna get Dwally and Ferkser take all the tight end snaps. So last week with no Laporta, we saw only one tight end, actually. They used to run a good chunk of like double tight end sets with Laporta and Brock Wright, but I guess they don't do that anymore with I guess this shitty tight end play. But you're definitely gonna see Dolly and Ferkser out there. So, and like if they're out there and they're on the Lions team, like they're definitely live to catch a pass in the end zone. It's like I'm actually really interested in this Detroit thing because with no tight ends, they just ran 3 wide receivers almost all of the time, which is not standard of them until Laporta went down. Like we see here 250 and then like what 165 219 yeah. So they were running triple wide receiver like 50% of the time, and it's basically up to like 70-80% of the time. So, and then we also got Khalif Raymond out, right? So, and Tesla is questionable. So it's kind of interesting to look at the Detroit wide receiver 3 situation here. Like, if Tesla's out, are you gonna see Dominic Lovett just run 80% of routes, or no, like play 80% of snaps? Or are we gonna see like double tight end Dwelly Ferkser? Either way, the field probably won't want to play these guys, so you're gonna get them at lower ownership than they should be, and I feel like it's relatively interesting to get into these group of guys. But like, I don't think I would expect Tesla to just step into an 80% role. Do we have anything on him? Did he practice? Limited. I mean, it's definitely possible that we see 80% Tesla. Like, I would have a lot more interest in Tesla than the field. I don't even know what he's projecting for right now, but I know it's not much. Yeah, so Tesla projects for 2%. I would definitely sprinkle in Tesla. Can even consider some Lovett. I don't even know what Lovett ATD is. It's probably like at a season high though, at 1200. I guess you might just not see Lovett play all that much. So yeah, I like Tesla more than the field, and I like Dolly and Ferkser more than the field. Then, like, what if Mark Andrews fails, right? There's no, like, clear... I don't think there's a clear tight end play. Like, you could easily see Kelsey and Andrews not have huge games, and then Jasicki's like Jasicki, like, is not really a guarantee either, and it's like likely is not really a guarantee either. Like, you could see one of these Lions tight ends be the only touchdown catcher, the only tight end to catch a touchdown. It could just be one of Dolly or Ferkser, and then you just need them. So, I think they're definitely in play from that perspective. Honestly, I don't even remember what I talked about this entire time. I hope I covered everything. I mean, yeah, defense, sure. Like, Chiefs, Lions, and Packers, sure. Yeah, that's probably my 3 favorite. And Ravens is highest owned for some reason. Don't agree with that. Chiefs are just not owned for some reason. Probably because of the Dak narrative. So, like, I don't know why Lions are the lowest owned either. Huh. I mean, defense is really... It's really interesting ownership. Why do Ravens project for 7? Probably gonna drop that one a bit. Not interested in Ravens D that much. Yeah, the idea for Lions is like they have a solid pass rush, although their secondary is kind of ass, but you could see them pick up a lot of sacks. The thing is, I think Jordan Love is a QB that doesn't really get sacked that much. Where even is sacks? Are there not even sack stats on here? Bruh. Yeah, Jordan Love doesn't really get sacked. Like, less than twice per game. It's not really a guy that throws picks either. But, like, you could see the Lions hold Green Bay to not that many points. But, you could see, like, also the Dak Prescott meltdown game that I mentioned again. Like, Prescott has a bunch of interceptions in the season 7. He also wasn't a guy that gets sacked that much, though. But I feel like the 3 teams that that I see having some scoring downside would be Green Bay, Detroit, and Dallas. I guess the idea with Baltimore D is like the Bengals O-line sucks and how healthy is Burrow. But I mean, I'm already on Burrow, so just it's not Baltimore defense for me. I think KC could really just hold Dallas to nothing, and could see Dak throw like a pick or two, and KC gets there or something. Like, yeah, and then you could also see like the Goff meltdown game as well. So argument for Green Bay, and then the Detroit side is just like Green Bay can't move the ball at all, just don't score. And I think they're totally live for that with their run defense matching Jacobs and Love being Love. And then I just don't see it on Bengals Ravens because I think that game shoots out. And then, yeah, why would I click Cowboys against Mahomes? And it does give you the leverage off of Chalk Mahomes, but like, I actually don't understand why Cowboys defense is chalk. Doesn't make any sense to me. They had like what even is this? They have pick 6 or something? Like a fumble 6, but it's like on who's a shitter like Jacoby Brissett. And then they had another one on Marcus Mariota. I don't even know if that was on Mariota or Daniels actually, but and then all these other weeks like they don't do anything. I mean, they actually kind of do something. But yeah, which QBs have they run it up on? Like Brissett? Who even played for Washington week 7? Was it Daniels or Mariota? Didn't Mariota throw a pick 6 or something? Maybe I'm making stuff up. Where even is the Cowboys? I'm pretty sure Mariota threw a pick 6 in this game. Or was the fumble loss? I don't even know what it was. They don't have ints on here? Oh, bland. Yeah, Mariota did throw a pick 6. Yeah. So it was like Mariota and Brissett. And then Geno. And the Jets. Fucking Fields. Like, in every other game they put up below 5 points. 5 points or below. Granted, their defense is different now, but I don't know if Cowboys is the one. It's not like Chiefs is like the greatest either, but like you could really see the Chiefs just hold them to nothing. Yeah. So I don't really project very much. I just changed the Detroit tight ends. But one thing I really just don't understand is why the industry is projecting Amon-Ra St. Brown over Jamar Chase. Like, how is this even possible? We have St. Brown for more catches and more yards and more touchdowns. There's just such a disconnect. It doesn't make any sense to me, because, like, Jamar has shorter ATD odds, Jamar projects for more touchdowns, or not more receptions, and Jamar projects for like 12 more receiving yards. I don't know why we're giving St. Brown the straight up projection over Jamar Chase. I don't see it. Although I do think this is like the St. Brown matchup way more than the JMO one. I don't even know if this is true, but I just see Green Bay as a team that won't give up those huge plays. And like St. Brown's the slot guy. He can just get there on like 10 receptions. So I don't really have an issue with St. Brown. The guy I do have an issue with is Jahmyr Gibbs at the ownership that he's probably going to get. Like, he projects for 41, but is he really going to get 41 after those last two games? Probably not. I think Jahmyr probably pushes like 50, 60. And in this matchup at 8.8K, like, Green Bay was considered to be a very strong defense. And like, we already saw the Lions play against the Packers, and Gibbs had like a terrible game. Well, 15 is not terrible, but it's not really paying off the price. And I heard a lot of people talking about like Jahmyr Gibbs is the highest ceiling guy on the slate, or blah blah blah, or whatever. Like, I don't see it. Like, yeah, he had 58 and 41s against like the shittiest teams ever, and the Giants and the Commanders. And like 40 against Tampa, like, yeah, that's actually respectable, but like all the other ceiling games are just like, oh, Giants. Like, yeah, it's 58, but like that just, it's like, doesn't make any sense. It's not realistic. This 41 is like, it's not realistic. Like, Gibbs is not gonna score 3 touchdowns again. Like, he can, but that would just be the worst. And it's like, he's hit the bonus like every time too. He's hit over the 100 mark every time. And like, he didn't in this game, but like, he caught 100. He had 100 receiving yards, so like, he still got the bonus. Like, you're just seeing Jahmyr run good for fantasy these last 5 games. Or like these, well, not including this Minnesota one. But like, what, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns? And then he just somehow gets 100 receiving yards out of nowhere. Like, you can see like the bad games, right? 91 and 1 touchdown, 2 receptions. It's 17. It's just not good enough for 8,800. Well, it could be. It depends on everyone else, but like, yeah, you saw this game, 27, which probably gets you there. But again, like, it's against Baltimore. And you can definitely just see like Montgomery vulture something too. Like, it's not like Gibbs is a very clear lead back here either. Like, Montgomery is still getting his series, but like, Montgomery just like runs bad with the series every time. Well, who's it play? Or I'm like lying, but first quarter, it's a Jahmyr one, and then you get the David Montgomery series, Oh, 3 and out. Oh, Jameer again. And oh, that's Demon. What? I guess this is also Montgomery Drive or what? Yeah, and then it's like a St. Brown touchdown. Now we get Jameer didn't score. Oh, they're actually not alternating. They're actually not alternating anymore. That like that, but like Jameer explosive, and then actually getting Jameer quite often. Okay, maybe it's different. But like this is the Montgomery drive, right? He's just getting a bunch of usage and then Goff throws a fucking pick. And like every Montgomery drive, they just never get to the end zone. Like maybe it's a personnel diff, but I swear Montgomery runs so bad with his drives. I mean, look at like the previous week. I don't know, this Philly one's very interesting, but okay, whatever. I'm gonna demon it over here. This is like whatever, bro. This game's too low scoring. And it's like Gibbs drive. Touchdown. Kind of get this random Montgomery run here, but I don't know. And then this is the Montgomery drive, right? What happens here? Another pass touchdown on the Montgomery drive. Now it's Gibbs. Oh, Gibbs gets a touchdown. And then we got Montgomery. Oh, Goff throws a pick. Nice. Alright, that's not even a pick, but field goal, whatever. Just like Montgomery never scores on his drives. And like Gibbs scores every single time on his. And it's a JMO one, sure. There's not enough plays, you might just see Gibbs again. Oh no, it's actually David Montgomery. And it's like, why did we go to Gibbs here? Okay, I don't know. Like, the Montgomery drive. Oh, field goal. Now, like, another Gibbs drive. Oh, Gibbs touchdown. Oh, Montgomery. Field goal. I think to some degree, like, Montgomery is running really bad with his drives. Like, part of it is Gibbs is the more explosive guy. But, like, you saw some really big games from Montgomery as well. We saw, like, at least one big run against the Ravens. But, like, even last year, there's, like, some pretty solid games, although, like, Gibbs kind of emerged into the running back one spot, but like Demo's scoring like every game. So there's definitely some argument to play Demo and Demo like as a pivot off of Gibbs. But you can also play them together, right? And Montgomery's not really getting that much ownership. Actually he is 20%. But like I think part of this ownership discrepancy is certainly like Gibbs running good and Demo running bad. And in a game against Green Bay where the total might not be as high as usual, you're going to get a lower sample of touchdowns. So like, let's say the Lions score like 3 touchdowns. Oh, like 2 of them go to Demo randomly because it's a low sample and like the entire game is dead except for Montgomery, right? So there's like some interest there. I don't agree with this idea that Gibbs is automatically the highest ceiling guy just because of he had some really good games against the worst teams ever, and now he's against Green Bay. Like the matchup affects your ceiling as well. Like your ceiling against Green Bay is not the same thing as your ceiling against the Giants. Like this is Jamar Chase we're talking about. It's like we saw 41 and 40. And the matchup for Jamar is like way better than the matchup for Jameer. So I think it's Jamar for me as the spin up that's clearly better than the rest. Yeah, let's go through ownership a bit and then just get out of here. I mean, this is like just copy pasted from here because I think Sabres ownership is not great. But I mean, I think the ordering for the quarterback is basically as I said it. The Green Bay Detroit at the bottom, and then Mahomes your most optimal. I think the way I'm approaching quarterback is I'm gonna be lower on Dak and Mahomes in the field, and then I'm just gonna match Love and Goff. I guess I'd probably be under on Goff actually. I just don't see a ceiling on Goff, and then probably be a little bit higher on Burrow and Lamar. So for running back, it's mostly just gonna be lineup dependent, but I think running back is like there's no clear running back play. No one's like really great besides like Derrick Henry, but Henry also has a drawback that like he just doesn't look good like in real life. Like Gibbs is like the bad matchup. Chase Brown is Pirine back, which I don't know how much that affects him, but yeah, Javonte has the Kansas City matchup, which kind of makes him touchdown dependent. Montgomery's like also touchdown dependent. Josh Jacobs has the worst matchup in the entire league. And then like the Kansas City guys, we have Pacheco back. Like I don't think he can play Emmanuel Wilson. There's not really a clear running back that looks really good. If I had to pick one, I guess Derrick Henry, but like there's no like real way I can say that I prefer one running back over the other because they're all pretty disgusting. Then I think this. Okay, I actually lied. CD actually was getting more ownership than Pickens. My fault. Well, it's because Saber has CD 40, Pickens 30. But yeah, we just blame Saber Sim. But like, yeah, I think one really strange one to me is JMO getting 32%. Probably gonna be way underweight to that one. It's just not a great matchup. Like JMO's nuked it a couple of games, but look who he played against, right? He had 0 against the Giants, okay. Like, Commanders. Eagles. Okay, I mean, the Eagles one is solid, but like, the big nuke was against the Commanders. Minnesota. Like, you're not gonna see JMO get there in yards. He has to, like, get the yards and the touchdown. Which, like, he's a touchdown 33% of the time, but then he still has to get there, but he's already over 33% owned. So, like, yeah, JMO's, like, over-owned to me. I think you can argue Watson, too, but I think Watson has the better matchup. And then I just think these guys down at the bottom are not getting as owned as they should be. Actually do want to check the Green Bay snaps. Wicks is getting about half. So I guess like Wicks is fine at 3,400. I think I tend to prefer Yoshivas and Tinsley just because they'll be getting more work. And then also Bateman and Hopkins. Yeah, I don't know about Bateman. Well, Bateman's also going to be getting like the same degree of work that Yoshivas and Tinsley are getting, so Bateman from that standpoint, and then Hopkins because I think he's arguably the more explosive guy. But Wicks is also fine. I just think all of these dudes are going under-owned. I mean, Wicks is getting the most ownership as well, so yeah. But like Tesla, 2%, who, I mean, he kind of does have the upside to run 80% of routes. Because what else are they going to do? They're going to throw out Fisker, Ferkser, and Dwelly. And they're going to dust off Lovett. Like, what are they going to do? It's just gotta be Tesla. So I think it's very interesting that there's so many guys who are live to run over 80% of routes who just aren't getting any ownership at all. And that's Yoshivas, Tinsley, Bateman, and Tesla. And then some big play upside receivers who aren't getting ownership, like Hopkins and Wicks, at very cheap prices. If you like ignore skill or like who a dude is, like, and you just look at snap shares, like Watson and Dobbs are like the same thing, but Watson is getting twice the ownership, or not twice, but 30 to 17 at literally the same price. And so I mean that one's a little interesting as well. And then you're just seeing Worthy get no ownership either. Even though Worthy's like running the most routes on this team, even though Rice is the more productive guy, that's like really low price on Xavier Worthy. And had Worthy had bigger games, like you're not going to see him lower owned than JMO and Watson. And like Kansas City is implied for a lot of points as well. It's a 4-5 Xavier Worthy who realistically needs one catch to get there. And like the thing with Jameson Williams is like against Green Bay he's probably not going to get you there without a touchdown. But you can definitely see Worthy get you there without a touchdown, I feel like. And it's like Kansas City kind of has everything going besides Worthy. So if this Dallas defense still remains low resistance, I feel like Worthy's direction is the direction that they'd want to go. So yeah, honestly, it's so late. I don't even know what I'm yapping about. I don't know how it's been almost an hour. But yeah, overall, wide receiver 2s and 3s, Yoshivas, Tinsley, Tessa, Hopkins, Wicks, Bateman, Dobbs, tight end 2s, Ferkser, Dwelly, Likely, even Fant, running back 2s, Pierine's fine, Mitchell, like these guys you can take shots on. David Montgomery, like Kareem Hunt. I just think that there's no real clear place anywhere, even though the field is condensing on some guys. I guess to me the one clear play is Jamar. That's like the only clear play on the entire slate. And everything else is pretty wide open. And everything is condensing on the big names. And the cheap end guys are just not getting ownership. And if you buy into like one of these cheap guys, it opens up like very different constructions. Like most of the field is gonna be a little bit mid-range heavy. You can get like probably double spend up or like triple spend up probably. Going like a double kind of lower owned guy type of thing. I don't even know, like Henry, and they can still even like go up and get a Gibbs or a Rice or a CD or something. Like you can still go and get them, like you just put like Dwally. You can literally fit Gibbs in here and just go Packers or something. Okay, well like you probably don't want to play triple Detroit with Packers D, but at the point, right? Let's just swap off Gibbs for like I don't know, Montgomery Rice. That's too expensive. Chase Brown, sure. Okay, well, like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Sure, that is putting Cowboys for fun, I guess. But like, you can get like some really wild constructions if you're gonna buy into these guys. Like even here, you can get triple spend up in a Henry Chase Saint. Whereas like what the field is doing, probably gonna put like, oh, Mahomes, get like one of the safer tight ends like Travis Kelce. Like I think Mark Andrews is gonna be chalk or something. Gonna be like your cheap guy, and then you're probably gonna see like, oh, Gibbs Henry. No way, like Xavier Worthy, or what the, like Rashee Rice. Oh, Worthy's cheap. Let's stack it with Worthy. And then you can't even like build anything competent like this. Like, I don't know, double Baltimore tight end. I mean, I guess this is actually a chalk construction, so I'm just a liar, but yeah, I don't know, like obviously no one's gonna build this trash, but yeah, I'm actually just a liar because this looks the exact same. But the point is like like there's no real way to determine who the like good cheap guy is. Like Andrews is the mega chalk cheap guy. Like what if Andrews fails? Then you're gonna need a different cheap guy. I mean, Andrews fails like probably a pretty decent amount of the time. Like at least half. Like the half of the time that he doesn't score. What are we even projecting for Andrews touchdowns? I don't know. Like almost 0.6. So like 30% of the time, like you're kind of insta dead with Mark Andrews. Like 40% of the time. And then you can catch a touchdown and still not be optimal or something. I mean, if you're giving Andrews 0.6 touchdowns, like he's probably under-owned at 43, but like, I don't know, why am I even yapping for an hour and 4 minutes? I don't even think I've said one useful thing besides like, I guess I'm giving my thoughts or something. I don't know. But like, yeah, just correlate wide receiver 2s and 3s to your quarterback. And yeah, you have to get different somehow. So, and my way to get different, probably minus Mark Andrews plus all these random other punts, the wide receivers and the Lions tight ends, and go with some random running backs. Play Keaton Mitchell if it's a Baltimore behind script. Like throw in some Pirine. Like, he can score a touchdown. Why not? Like Pirine can outscore Andrews. Like why not? I mean, yeah, like, play some shit like this. Lamar, Hopkins, likely. Use like the cheapest Ravens stack ever. That's like different as well. And then you can go up and get like Chase Gibbs, St. Brown. You can play like something crazy. Like you kind of need Montgomery to save salary. I mean, not really. Just like throwing Dwally. Like you can play some crazy shit. 7,800 still. You can play something wild if you are willing to index into the cheap guys. Like, this isn't even crazy. It's literally just Hopkins and Dwally. And then it lets you literally get everyone, like Gibbs, Henry, Chase, St. Brown. Like, you can go 4 spend ups if you play like the Giga Punts. And then so I'll just give myself an idea of what a Burrow one would look like. Like Burrow, Chase, you just take off Hopkins for like Yoshivas or like Tinsley. I don't know, you literally have like infinite salary. You don't have to play this dude. You just like send Chase Brown or something. And you still have salary. You just like throw in, I don't know, Travis Kelce. Like you just have so much stuff you can do if you index into this cheap range. So yeah, guess that's it. Just a fucking super long ass rant for no reason. Yeah, good luck.